Welcome to the Ultimate Sports Blog Podcast. Today is Friday, August 3rd, 2018. Today I'm going to recap last night's baseball action, look ahead to today's baseball action, talk about another injury for the New York Yankees, or not necessarily an injury, but somebody with a hand, mouth, and foot disease, go over the college football coaches poll, and rank the NFL offenses. All right. Baseball yesterday, just going to go through these results really quick. The Rays defeated the Angels 4-2 as they improved to 56-53. The Angels dropped to 54-56. Jalen Beeks improved to 1-1. First win as a Ray. Andrew Heaney drops to 6-7. Sergio Romo gets his 13th save of the year. The Cardinals defeated the Rockies 3-2 as they improved to 56-53. Rockies dropped to 58-50. Chasen Shreve improves to 1-0. First win as a Cardinal. Wade Davis drops to 1-4. This game ended on a walk-off two-run single by Jose Martinez in a pinch hit appearance. The White Sox defeated the Royals 6-4 as they improved to 38-70. KC drops to 34-74. Xavier Cedeno improves to 1-0. Jason Adam drops to 0-3. Luis Avalon gets his first save of the season. The Phillies defeated the Marlins 5-2. Courtesy of a walk-off three-run homer by Maikel Franco, they improved to 16-48. Miami drops to 46-64. Tommy Hunter improves to 3-1. Kyle Barclough drops to 0-5. The Nationals defeated the Reds 10-4 as they improved to 55-53. The Reds dropped to 48-61. Max Scherzer improves to 15-5. Tyler Mahle drops to 7-9. The Red Sox defeated the Yankees 15-7 as they improved to 76-34. The Yankees dropped to 68-39. Brian Johnson improves to 2-3. Jonathan Holder drops to 1-2. The Braves defeated the Mets 4-2 as they improved to 58-47. The Mets dropped to 44-62. Mike Falta-Units improves to 8-7. Jason Vargas drops to 2-7. AJ Minter gets his 7th save of the season. The Rangers defeated the Orioles 17-8 as they improved to 47-63. The O's dropped to 33-76. Giovanni Gallardo improves to 6-1. Andrew Castro drops to 3-10. Eddie Butler gets his first save of the year. The Padres defeated the Cubs 6-1 as they improved to 43-68. The Cubs dropped to 62-46. Robbie Erlin improves to 2-3. Jesse Chavez drops to 0-1 as a member of the Chicago Cubs. The Dodgers absolutely destroyed the Brewers 21-5 as they improved to 61-49. The Brewers dropped to 63-49. Clayton Kershaw improves to 5-5. Julius Chacin drops to 10-4. The Giants defeated the Diamondbacks 8-1 as they improved to 56-54. The Diamondbacks dropped to 16-50. Madison Bumgarner improved to 4-4. Zach Greinke drops to 12-6. The Blue Jays defeated the Mariners 7-3 as they improved to 49-59. Seattle drops to 63-46. Mike Hochschild improves to 1-0. Juan Nicasio drops to 1-6. Today's games, 2:20, Padres Cubs, Tyson Ross, Jose Quintana, Reds Nationals at 7 o'clock, Anthony DeSclafani and Gio Gonzalez, Marlins Phillies, Trevor Richards and Vince Velasquez, Cardinals Pirates, John Gannon, Chris Archer, Archer's making his Pirates debut, Yankees Red Sox, Luis Severino against Rick Porcello, Angels Indians, Jaime Barria and Mike Clevenger, Braves Mets, Anibal Sanchez and Jacob deGrom, White Sox Rays, Lucas Giolito and Ryan Stanek, 8 o'clock Orioles Rangers, David Hess and Ariel Gerardo, Rockies Brewers, Herman Marquez and Junior Gurria, Royals Twins, Heath Fillmeyer and Jake Odorizzi, 9:40 Giants Diamondbacks, Chris Stratton and Patrick Corbin, 10 o'clock Astros Dodgers, you got the World Series rematch here, Justin Verlander against Alex Wood, Tigers Athletics, Blaine Hardy and Brett Anderson, and Blue Jays Mariners, Ryan Baroque and Marco Gonzalez. Quickly, Jay Happ was sent to the disabled list for hand, foot, and mouth disease. It's a disease that is being increasingly likely for adults this summer. We've seen Noah Syndergaard get placed on the DL for a short stint of it, and that's be the same with Jay Happ. He'll be back soon. He's just going to miss this Red Sox start, which is an absolute shame for the Yankees because of last night's disastrous loss, and now you lose your newly acquired starting pitcher that you sorely, desperately needed, and now he can't make a start against the Red Sox. It's just bad timing of this as well. Yesterday, the college football coaches poll came out. I'm going to go through it. I'm going to do 1 through 25. Number 1, Alabama Crimson Tide. 2, Clemson Tigers. 3, Ohio State Buckeyes. 4, Georgia Bulldogs. 5, Oklahoma Sooners. 6, Washington Huskies. 7, Wisconsin Badgers. 8, the Miami Hurricanes. 9, Penn State Nittany Lions. 10, Auburn Tigers. 11, Notre Dame Fighting Irish. 12, Michigan State Spartans. 13, Stanford Cardinal. 14, Michigan Wolverines. 16, the Southern Cal Trojans. 16, the TCU Horned Frogs. 17, Virginia Tech Hokies. 18, Mississippi State Bulldogs. 19, Florida State Seminoles. 20, West Virginia Mountaineers. 21, the Texas Longhorns. 22, the Boise State Broncos. 23, Central Florida Knights. 24, the LSU Tigers. And 25, the Oklahoma State Cowboys. Others receiving votes: South Carolina, Florida, Oregon, Utah, Texas A&M, Northwestern, Kansas State, FAU, Boston College, Memphis, NC State, Troy, Arkansas State, Appalachian State, San Diego State, Kentucky, Iowa, Iowa State, Washington State, South Florida, Duke, Fresno State, Louisville, Houston, Arizona, Northern Illinois, and Army. My one big takeaway from this list is that Notre Dame is pretty high. I thought Central Florida wouldn't be in these rankings. Surprised LSU made it. I thought Oklahoma State would be a little higher. TCU's at the right spot. West Virginia should be higher. I think Mississippi State even should be higher. Florida State's too high. Stanford's right where it should be. Michigan State's in a good spot. And I'm surprised Ohio State's even this high in the wake of the off-field issues. I thought they would have been maybe a teeny bit lower, maybe at 5 instead of 3. Now I'm going to do my NFL offense power rankings. These are just power rankings of the NFL offenses in the league. I'll try to be quick here. It's all up for debate. This is just my opinion. Number 32, the New York Jets. Sam Darnold probably won't start. It's probably going to be Lamar Jackson or Josh McCown. This offense, I think, is perhaps the worst one on paper in the league. Their lead running back is Bilal Powell. The receivers are Robbie Anderson, Quincy Enunwa, Jermaine Kearse, Terrell Pryor. And who's the tight end on this team with the loss of Austin Seferian-Jenkins? That's a big question for the Jets offense coming in to the season. Number 31 is their division rival, Miami Dolphins. I don't love this offense at all. Yes, Ryan Tannehill's their quarterback. Their running backs are Kenyon Drake, who I like, and Frank Gore. Receivers, Danny Amendola, Devontae Parker, who needs to have a big season, and Kenny Stills are key receivers. The starting 10 on this team is Cowboys cast-off Gavin Escobar. Number 30 is the Cleveland Browns, who I think will be improved on that side of the football. Tyrod Taylor starting at quarterback. Nick Chubb will be a good running back to go with Carlos Hyde. Your wide receivers, your number 1 receiver is Jarvis Landry. And maybe they'll sign Des Bryant. We'll see. Corey Coleman should have a good year. And your starting tight end is who? David Njoku? That's a question to be answered in the preseason. Number 29. It's funny, you had the third AFC East team in the bottom 4 of this, and that is the Buffalo Bills, who have Josh Allen on their roster, but maybe A.J. McCarron starts for them, but I would like to see Allen start. Your starting running back is LaShawn McCoy, and your backup is former Jet Chris Ivory. Your wide receivers, you have Kelvin Benjamin, the former Panther, as your number 1 receiver, and you also have Jeremy Curley, the ex-Jet, as a receiver as well. Your starting tight end is Charles Clay. So I really don't love this offense, and I don't know how this team went 9-7 a year ago and made the playoffs. Number 28 is the Baltimore Ravens. Joe Flacco will be the starting quarterback. RG3 and Lamar Jackson will back up. Jackson was somebody that played in the Hall of Fame game last night, as well as RG3. But this is obviously Joe Flacco's job right now. The starting running backs either going to be Kenneth Dixon or Alex Collins, probably Collins. You have no true number 1 receiver. You have the former St. Louis Snead on the team. You have Michael Crabtree, who brings a veteran presence. The starting tight end on this team should be Hayden Hurst. He had a touchdown catch last night in the Hall of Fame game. Number 27 is the Indianapolis Colts. Andrew Luck is back from injury finally. The supporting cast is not great. You have no real running back on this roster. Is your starting running back going to be Christine Michael going into the season? Your receivers, T.Y. Hilton's nice. Who's your number 2 guy? Is he even on the roster? Is it Ryan Grant? And your starting tight end is Eric Ebron, the former Detroit Lion. So this roster does not have solutions on it other than Luck and T.Y. Hilton. Number 26 is the Denver Broncos, who bring in Case Keenum to be their quarterback this year. My fear is that he had a career year last year and that he takes a step back this year. Paxton Lynch has been one of the more bust draft picks of the most recent years, as it seems so far. Devontae Booker's been a solid back for them. I want to see Royce Freeman get some run. Demaryius Thomas is still around. Emmanuel Sanders is still around. So at least Keenum has some weapons to throw to as the receivers. And who's the starting tight end is a question. Is it Jeff Herman? That's a question to be answered at the preseason. Number 25 is the Cincinnati Bengals. Andy Dalton's still their quarterback. They have a couple good running backs. Joe Mixon, Giovanni Bernard. Quentin Fowler's the rookie. I think could be a sleeper rookie. AJ Green is still catching footballs from Dalton. But my question is, who are the other receivers? Is John Ross finally going to show something? Tight end, you have a good duo in Tyler Eifert and Tyler Kroft. So maybe I should have ranked the Bengals offense a little higher. I probably had them this low because who's their other receiving options as a wide receiver outside of AJ Green? Number 24, this is a bit of a low ranking for a team that made the AFC title game last year, and that's the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm not convinced that Blake Bortles is the long-term quarterback answer. Leonard Fournette's a stud running back. TJ Yeldon is an above-average backup. My question for them is, who's their number 1 receiver? Is it Marquise Lee? Is it Dante Moncrief? Is it D.D. Westbrook? The loss of Allen Robinson's going to be huge. Austin Seferian-Jenkins was a good tight end pickup with the departure of longtime tight end Mercedes Lewis. Number 23 is the Dallas Cowboys. I have some questions about their offense, obviously, with the departure of Des Bryant. Will Dak Prescott have a good year this year, or will he be the guy from last year? Ezekiel Elliott's back. Bo Scarborough will be a sleeper rookie as a backup to Elliott. Rod Smith had moments last year. Who's this team's number one receiver? Is it Allen Hurns? Is it Terrence Williams? Is it Cole Beasley? Is it Tavon Austin, who will be kicking and returning punts for this team? Jason Witten's gone as well. You can't underestimate that loss. Who's their number one tight end? Is it David Wells? Is it Rico Gathers? Is it Dalton Schultz? This team has questions to answer in the preseason too. Number 22 is their division rival Washington Redskins. Alex Smith's their new starting quarterback, replacing Kirk Cousins. They have a nice running back core. Chris Thompson, Samaje Perine, and Robert Kelly, and I think the rookie Darius Geis will help too. So they have a little bit of a logjam there. I have questions at receiver. They have no true number one guy. They hope Jamison Crowder could be that. I like Josh Doxson. I think he could be a good receiver. Paul Richardson, the Seahawks cast-off, is in now. They have a good tight end duo in Jordan Reed and Vernon Davis as well. Number 21 is an offense I think will be improved from last year, and that is the Chicago Bears, who played in the Hall of Fame game last night. Mitch Trubisky did not play. I expect a big breakout for him in year 2. Jordan Howard and Tariq Cohen are a good, solid running back duo. Michael Burton is a good fullback as well. The addition of Allen Robinson will be a good one. I think Anthony Miller was a good draftee. He'll be a sleeper rookie as a receiver. I'm interested to see if Kevin White fully comes back and actually contributes, or else he'll go down as one of the bigger busts over the recent years. Trey Burton is their starting tight end, I guess, the former Eagle. Number 20 is ironically one of their division rivals, and that is the Detroit Lions. Matt Stafford still their quarterback. They have a running back sort of foursome: Amir Abdullah, LeGarrette Blount, Theo Riddick, and rookie Kerryon Johnson. We'll see if any of those guys get released. They never really had a true number one receiver since Calvin Johnson retired. You have Marvin Jones there. You have Kenny Golladay there, who had a nice year last year. They lose Eric Ebron at tight end, so now they have the question of who's going to start at tight end for them. Is it Luke Wilson, the former Seahawk? Will it be Michael Roberts? That's a question to answer in the preseason. Number 19 is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Jameis Winston suspended the first couple games of the season. This team does have some pieces offensively, though. We'll just see if it works. They have Doug Martin gone. Who's going to be their starting running back? Is it going to be former West Virginia Mountaineer Charles Sims? Will it be the rookie Ronald Jones from USC? Peyton Barber had moments last year. Jaquez Rogers had some moments in his career. Mike Evans obviously leads the receiving core. Adam Humphries had a good year last year. Your starting tight end, is it O.J. Howard or Cameron Bard? That's a good duo. Number 18 is the Kansas City Chiefs, who get rid of Alex Smith and bring in Patrick Mahomes. Kareem Hunt was one of the better rookies last year in the league. Charkandrick West is a good backup. They don't have a true number one receiver. They paid Sammy Watkins to be that, but I don't think he will be that. Tyreek Hill's still around as well. And they have an elite tight end in Travis Kelce. And they probably win the wild card game last year if he doesn't get hurt. Number 17 is the team that they lost that wild card game to last year, and that's the Tennessee Titans. I keep saying this on the podcast the last couple days. Marcus Mariota has to have a better year than he did last year. Derrick Henry's going to be one of the better running backs in the league this year. Dion Lewis came in to help. The receiving core is kind of murky. Will Corey Davis have a breakout year? Michael Campanaro was added, the former Raven. You have Rashad Matthews in there now. You have a good tight end in Delaney Walker. Number 16 is the New York Giants. A lot of people are going to yell at me and say that the Giants should be higher. But there's just 15 better offenses than the Giants, in my opinion. Eli Manning has to have a good season this year, or else there's going to be questions about why they didn't draft Sam Darnold instead of Saquon Barkley, who, in my opinion, will be absolutely amazing as a rookie. Wayne Gallman's a solid backup for Barkley. Jonathan Stewart's on this roster too, but I think Barkley will be their starting running back. Odell Beckham Jr. is back from his injury. Sterling Shepard's a nice number 2 receiver. Evan Ingram was a good rookie tight end last year. Number 15 is the Arizona Cardinals. I think this could be a sleeper team this upcoming season. This team went 8-8 a year ago, but everybody forgets that. Sam Bradford will probably start the year as their quarterback. The team also has Mike Lennon on the roster, but they picked Josh Rosen in the draft last year. They traded up for him. We'll see if he sees some time. I'd love to see Rosen start because I'm just fascinated to see how all these quarterbacks pan out. David Johnson's back from his injury. Derek Coleman's a solid fullback. Larry Fitzgerald's still around. They picked up the former Cowboy Bryce Butler. The 2 Browns are gone. Christian Kirk will be a solid rookie as well. Ricky Seals-Jones had a breakout year at tight end last year. Jermaine Gresham's a good veteran tight end as well. Number 14 is one of their division rivals, and that's the Seattle Seahawks. Russell Wilson's still around. Marshawn Lynch has been gone for a few years now. They reached for Rashad Penny in the draft last year. We'll see if he has any impact for them. Trey Madden's a nice fullback. Chris Carson had some moments last year. Doug Baldwin's still around as their number 1 receiver. Tyler Lockett's had some moments throughout his career. The Seahawks also picked up Brandon Marshall. We'll see if he has any impact after having no impact on the Giants last year, and he ended up getting injured. They lose Jimmy Graham and Luke Wilson, so who's their starting tight end now? I guess it's Ed Dixon. Number 13 is the Oakland Raiders. Hello, John Gruden. We'll see how this offense looks. Derek Carr is obviously their quarterback. Marshawn Lynch is still around. DeAndre Washington had moments last year, as well as Jalen Richard. And Doug Martin's also on this roster. Their top receiver is Amari Cooper. Now with the departure of Michael Crabtree, Jordy Nelson takes his spot on the roster. I think he'll have a positive impact for them. Dwayne Harris, the former Giant, will be returning kicks and punts for this team. Martavis Bryant's also on this roster. Jared Cook is a solid tight end. Number 12 is the Houston Texans. Deshaun Watson back from injury. I believe he'll have a great year, assuming he stays healthy. Lamar Miller's still on this roster. Alfred Boo's a solid backup. DeAndre Hopkins is one of the better receivers in the league. Will Fuller had moments last year. Sammy Coates, Bruce Ellington, and Braxton Miller have all had moments in their careers. My question with their offense is who's the starting tight end? Is it McCoy Pruitt? Is it Steven Anderson? Is it the rookie, Jordan Thomas, or the other rookie, Jordan Atkins? That question has to be answered in the preseason. Number 11 is the Carolina Panthers. Cam Newton's still around. Christian McCaffrey, I think, will be better in year 2 than he was in year 1. C.J. Anderson, the former Bronco, is on this roster now. Devin Funchess is relied on to be their number one receiver. DJ Moore, I think, will be one of the better rookies this year. Torrey Smith was a nice pickup. Greg Olson's still around as their tight end. He's one of the more underrated tight ends in the league. Number 10 is the San Francisco 49ers. Jimmy Garoppolo leads the way there. I think he will have a nice year. But I don't know if this team will have a good season necessarily, because I still think there's holes on this roster. Jerick McKinnon was overpaid to be their back. Kyle Juszczyk's a nice fullback. Pierre Garcon is on this roster as their number one receiver. Marquise Goodwin is still around, so I know they were relying on Garcon to be their number one guy, but the reality is, who's their big guy? I guess they're relying on Garcon or Goodwin, but to me, they're not number one guys. And they don't really have a tight end on this roster, too. I guess Garrett Selleck will be their starter, or Cole Wick, or somebody like that. But I do like the addition of McKinney, and I do like those two receivers. And Garoppolo's presence alone makes this offense in the top 10. Number 9 is the Minnesota Vikings. This is a pretty high ranking, but the quarterback upgrade for Kirk Cousins from Case Keenum will prove to be big. Latavius Murray and Dalvin Cook's a good running back duo. Good receiving core with Adam Thielen and Stephon Diggs. Laquan Treadwell, will he finally have a breakthrough year? Kendall Wright's a nice receiver as well. Kyle Rudolph's one of the more underrated tight ends in the league. Number 8 is their division rivals, the Green Bay Packers. Aaron Rodgers back. My question is, who are the running backs? Is it Ty Montgomery? Is Jamal Williams involved? Aaron Jones? Those guys all had moments throughout their careers. Jordy Nelson's gone. Devontae Adams is, I guess, the number one receiver to go with Randall Cobb. And Quamius St. Brown could be a good addition to this offense. Jimmy Graham comes in to be the tight end. Mercedes Lewis is a good backup tight end for them. Number 7 is the Los Angeles Chargers. Phillip Rivers is nearing the tail end of his prime. Melvin Gordon is one of the better running backs in the league. Derek Watt's a good fullback. Keenan Allen leads the receiving core. Travis Benjamin's a good number 2 receiver. Mike Williams, will he have a good year after a disappointing rookie year a year ago? Hunter Henry tore his ACL. That's a big loss for them. So my question is, who's the new starting tight end? So that's a good question for the Chargers as they head in to the preseason. But like I said, the Chargers offense is decided due to the presence of Rivers and Allen and Gordon. Number 6, a lot of people are going to be surprised at this ranking, but the New England Patriots. Tom Brady's another year older, but he's still playing at a high level. Sonny Michel, I think, will have a big impact on this offense. James White's a solid back. Rex Burkhead had moments as well. The team just picked up Eric Decker to be one of their key receivers. Chris Hogan, Julian Edelman are their other receivers. Philip Dorsett has not panned out. Malcolm Mitchell's had some moments. Cordell Patterson could return kicks and punts for them. Rob Gronkowski is still perhaps the best tight end in the sport. Dwayne Allen's a nice backup. Number 5 is the Los Angeles Rams. Jared Goff had a breakout year last year. I think he'll have equally, or if not a better year than he did last year. Todd Gurley is perhaps the best running back in football. This receiving core isn't great, but they did pick up Brandon Cooks. Well, that will help. Cooper Kupp, nice player. Robert Woods is a nice receiver. Farrell Cooper's nice. He'll return some kicks and punts for them. My question is who's the tight end of this team? Is it Henry Craig or Cobley? Is it Gerald Everett? That's a question for the preseason. Number 4 is the Atlanta Falcons. Matt Ryan leads the way offensively. Devontae Freeman is a stud running back. Tevin Coleman's also on this roster. You have Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley, Mohamed Sanu as your receiving core. I think Ridley can compete for the Offensive Rookie of the Year award. Austin Hooper's a solid tight end. Logan Paulson also had moments as their backup tight end. Number 3 is the reigning Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. Nick Foles will probably start the season as the quarterback, but Carson Wentz is going to be back from his torn ACL eventually. Jay Ajayi is a great running back. Corey Clement had moments last year. I like Matt Jones. I like Donnell Pumphrey. I like Wendell Smallwood, and I like Darryl Sproles. So one of these guys could very well be on somebody else's roster come week 1. Receiving core is solid. Alshon Jeffrey, Nelson Aguilar. Mike Wallace, I think, will be a good addition, as well as Marcus Wheaton. And they have a really good tight end in Zach Ertz, and they have a good backup tight end that they picked up in the offseason in Richard Rodgers. Number 2, the Pittsburgh Steelers. A lot of people are probably expecting them for me to put them at number 1, but no. Ben Roethlisberger is still their quarterback. Le'Veon Bell is one of the best backs in the league. James Conner's a good backup back. Good receiving core, Antonio Brown, Juju Smith-Schuster. James Washington will be a good rookie. He'll probably be this year's version of Smith-Schuster as an impact as a rookie. Darius Hayward-Bayes, a solid number 3 or number 4 type of receiver. My question for the Steelers now is who's their starting tight end? Is it Vance McDonald or Jesse James? They didn't really have a great tight end since the retirement of Heath Miller. And number 1, the New Orleans Saints. This team is absolutely loaded offensively. Drew Brees is still playing at a high level. Mark Ingram suspended to start the season. Alvin Kamara was outstanding as a rookie last year. Terrence West, I guess, was brought in to fill in for Ingram in his absence, as well as Shane Vereen. The wide receivers are fantastic. You have Michael Thomas. Ted Ginn Jr. had moments last year. Michael Floyd will help. Brandon Coleman's a nice receiver. Cameron Meredith had moments last year on the Bears. And your starting tight end, I guess, is Benjamin Watson. It would have been nice if this team brought back Jimmy Graham. The Hall of Fame game last night, the Ravens defeated the Bears 17-16. Robert Griffin III had an impact. 7 for 11, 58 yards, a touchdown, and the pick. For the Bears, the backup quarterback, Tyler Bray, 18 for 34, 181 yards, and a touchdown. Benny Cunningham, 6 carries on 37 yards. Javon Wims, 7 receptions, 89 yards. And then from a Ravens standpoint, Gus Edwards, 10 carries for 35 yards, and also had a reception for 23 yards of scoring. Michael Burton caught a 4-yard touchdown pass from Chase Daniels, 7-0 Bears. Ravens tie it up at the 8-minute mark. 5-yard touchdown pass, Max Williams from RG3, ties up at 7 apiece. And Kara Vidic with a 31-yard field goal, 10-7 Ravens. Third quarter, Lamar Jackson touchdown pass, 8 yards to Hayden Hurst, 17-7 Ravens. Fourth quarter, Cody Parkey, 22-yard field goal, made it 17-10. Then Tanner Gentry, 10-yard touchdown pass from Tyler Bray. 2-point conversion pass fails. 17-6 is your final. That's it for the podcast today. I'll be back tomorrow recapping all the baseball and go over any other news that breaks in the world of sports. I hope you guys have a great day, everybody.